Hi, welcome to the video. Make sure to like and subscribe if you enjoy, and comment your thoughts and opinions on the stories. Let's get started. Am I the antagonist for stealing from my best friend's mother? My best friend, 29F, passed away last year in a car crash, and it's been a really dark time in my life, 31F. We were supposed to grow old together, and she is the only lifelong friend I have. She was supposed to be my maid of honor, and I think he'll leave the spot empty, since I don't think I could handle replacing her. She didn't tell me she put me down as a beneficiary for her life insurance, so it was a complete shock when I was told her dad and I would each get half of her payout. I told her dad he could have my half. I didn't expect to be a beneficiary, but he told me to keep it, since she added me on purpose. I don't know how my friend's mom got my number, but she called me and asked for my half of the payout, since my friend was her daughter. I don't know much about her mother, even though I've known my friend since middle school. All I know is before middle school my friend was with her dad, who has full custody, and she never talks about her mother. She did mention that her mom lived in an assisted living facility since elementary school, and when she got her first real job she mentioned her mother asked her for money. I told her I would think about it and ask my friend's father, who told me to ignore her. I don't know what went down between her and her mother, so I'm not sure if I should return the money. Her mother has been sending me texts and phone calls telling me it's her money and she will sue me to get it, since I'm stealing it from her. To me, since I have a good relationship with my parents, I wrote both parents on my life insurance as a reflex, since I don't have children. So the fact she didn't indicates she didn't have a good relationship with her mother. But I'm sure she didn't think very long about it, because she didn't expect to pass away. She works a safe job and is a bit of a homebody, so now I feel guilty for getting money that she nor I expected me to get. Would it be cruel to leave her mother with nothing? Now for the top comments. NTA, your friend added you to her will with a conscious mind. There is a reason why the mom isn't on it. It's because that wasn't what best friend wanted. Suing you is an empty threat. The life insurance will be legally binding, and if she does try to get in touch with your friend's father again, NTA, you would actually be disrespecting your dead friend's wishes if you gave the money to her mother. She very deliberately excluded her, and I'm sure she had her reasons. Take the life insurance money and use it to live your best life in memory of your dear friend. This was my thought exactly. WBTAH, if she ignored her friend's intent and gave the money to a woman that's never been a figure in the friend's life. Am I the antagonist for leaving the house while my girlfriend is still sleeping? So I made plans for us to get up, go work at a coffee shop, then meet my family for lunch, and then go to the market. Very nice day. My girlfriend likes to sleep in, and I get up super early, 5:30 am 6:00 am. I told her I wanted to leave early, like 7:00 am, because I had a ton of work to do before seeing my family. She expressed how exhausted and tired she was yesterday, so this morning, when I woke up at 6:00 am, considering we went to bed at 11:30 pm, I didn't wake her up and let her sleep. I got ready to leave and went to give her a kiss goodbye, while telling her take all the time you need. Meet me at the coffee shop. I don't want to rush you. I know you're tired. She all of a sudden gets all cold with me, saying OMG, why didn't you wake me up? I thought we were going together. I expressed that I wanted to let her sleep because I know how tired she was, and that she can just meet me later. Later being an hour later, so she can get ready while I get a head start on my work. I finally leave the house, and she texts me basically saying how she doesn't understand why I was able to wake her up to say goodbye, but not able to wake her up when I woke up. She later starts texting me arguing, saying that it isn't fair that we made plans and I'm going off on my own without her. All I wanted to do was make her sleep and more, because I know how tired she was. She starts with the name calling etc. And I told her, instead of arguing with me, since you're already up, get ready and come. The coffee place is 10 minutes away from her house. She says she doesn't want to drive there and pay for parking and pay for gas. I don't know if she expected me to drive back to pick her up. I really think she's being a baby. My solution would be to just get in your car, drive over. It's not that difficult. I apologized for not waking her up, but I genuinely just wanted her to sleep. She finally basically cancels all our daily plans and says have a nice day. I'm sitting in the coffee shop alone now. It's been 2 hours. She isn't coming. So, am I the asshole for leaving while she's sleeping? Now for the top comments. I told her I wanted to leave early, like 7 AM, because I had a ton of work to do before seeing my family. She expressed how exhausted and tired she was yesterday, so this morning, when I woke up at 6 AM, considering we went to bed at 11:30 PM, I didn't wake her up and let her sleep. Info: did she actually agree to leave at 7? It doesn't sound like it. Yes, she did. That's why she was mad that I didn't wake her up. What? The comments are wild. I get she's upset and that they had plans, but he was trying to be thoughtful. I don't think that justifies her response. It's honestly really childish of her. NTA Opus. Please don't take those "you're the a-hole" commenters seriously. I don't know what they're on. I was on the fence at first because I personally would loved being able to sleep in. But if you go read his comments, he is definitely tar. Am I the antagonist for not forcing my foster kid to go to church? Note, I'm not in the US, so some things may be different. English isn't my first language. Throwaway. My wife, 35F, and I, 34 male, have decided to be foster parents after not being able to have children. Our current foster child, Hope, is 15 and Jewish. We are Christian. My wife is really committed to her faith and won't hesitate to push it onto others. The past week, my wife would put crosses up in her room when Hope is elsewhere, and Hope would take them down after I apologize for her behavior. Hope hates confrontation and is a generally quiet girl. I have spoken to my wife about privately, and she believes she is getting rid of the Jewishness. I don't like it, and I don't think it's right that she does this. When Sunday came, first Sunday that we've had her, my wife woke her up and demanded that she went to church with us. I heard this outside Hope's room, as our walls are not necessarily soundproof. Hope kept stammering, and I felt my wife was exploiting that. I stormed in and told my wife that she needs to respect Hope's religion and let it be. She looked shocked, as if she expected me to take her side. She stormed out of Hope's room, grabbed clothes, took one of our cars, and is currently staying at my mother-in-law's house. I told Hope she doesn't need to, and I would skip for that day to be with her. My wife is furious at me, and my in-laws think I'm in the wrong. My parents died in a house fire 10 years ago. I'm not sure about it. Am I the antagonist? Now for the top comments. NTA, and your wife is a bigot. She is anti-Semitic. Getting rid of the Jewishness, that is disgusting. NTA, your wife is trying to force a child in foster care to convert. How incredibly cruel to take her child in such an unstable situation and try to strip away her beliefs and by extension remove the way those beliefs can function as a connection to any past family or a sense of community. The irony of it all is Op's wife is straight up acting unchristianly. Wouldn't Jesus have happily taken a Jewish child in and accepted his beliefs without pushing his own agenda on the child? Don't people have to choose to go to the Christian God, not be forced towards him? Op, you are not the a-hole, but your wife seriously is. She is acting in bad faith, and you need to stand by this stance if you want to foster this child or any other. These are vulnerable children who have spent their life with their own experiences and beliefs already impacting them. They need shelter and acceptance, not to have a religion they don't practice shoved down their throat. If you cannot protect this or any other foster child from your wife's agenda, you need to stop fostering TBH, cause your wife is only going to add trauma on already traumatized children. Am I the antagonist for refusing to wear my engagement ring on the left hand? Sounds so stupid and childish. Maybe it's the stress of the past months planning the engagement, but my girlfriend and I got into a huge argument about this. We are getting engaged this Sunday. For context, I injured my left pinky badly when I was a child, and it had to be amputated. I've always been self-conscious about my left hand and refuse to wear anything on it, when if I wear rings. watches and bracelets, it's always on my right. When we first tried the rings we got, she put it on my left hand. It felt weird and told her I'd be more comfortable wearing it on my right. She said to just try it for a few weeks and I will get used to it. So I've tried wearing a ring that I already had on my left hand for a month, but it didn't get less weird for me and it was uncomfortable. 2 weeks ago I told her again that I'd be more comfortable wearing on my right and she reluctantly agreed. Well, this morning she told me I need to wear it on my left because there is vein that runs from to the left ring finger to the heart. I tried reaching a compromise with her and told her she can put it on my left hand during the ceremony and I'll keep wearing it for the whole party and afterwards I will start wearing it on my right. I assured her that I would not love her less just because I'm not wearing it on a finger that doesn't have a vein to the heart. She refused my compromise and sarcastically suggested that I don't wear it at all because why even wear rings? Because it's not like we are getting engaged or want to get married in the future or anything. Now for the top comments. NTA. Also, while the left hand is customary for wedding rings in the US, there are a number of countries, Germany, Russia, Spain, among others, where the right hand is typical. What makes you comfortable should be more important than on what hand your wedding ring is worn. Germany. That explains why I was confused at the insistence in this case. But really, what the F does it matter which finger the ring is on? In German there's a ring finger on both hands. And really there's no reason to not wear the ring on another. Roman times are over. NTA. Poles and some other Eastern Europeans traditionally use the right. This is stupid. I mean hell. My boyfriend doesn't plan on wearing his after the wedding day and I'll frequently be without one for work. Your fiance is either very young or deeply insecure. Am I the antagonist for throwing all of my mother-in-law's things out of my bedroom? My mother-in-law moved in with me, F25, and my husband, M26, a week ago while her house is being renovated. PS, the renovations were being done in the 2nd floor, so she had no reason to leave the house, but she said the noise makes her anxious. She didn't go stay with any of her sons, who have larger homes, but came to stay with us in our 1-bedroom apt. My husband brought her in without even telling me. She brought about the huge bags with her and asked if she could put some of her things in my bedroom. I said absolutely, and gave all the sock drawers to keep her things in, though I wasn't feeling comfortable with her barging in all the time and invading my privacy just to grab something of hers. She started complaining about lack of storage to put her dresses and makeup in and asked if I could share my closet with her, but I said no for many reasons. One of them is because I need privacy and my closet is where I keep all of my personal things. She huffed and puffed but dropped it eventually. I went to work and got home at 8. I entered my bedroom and not to see something strange. I opened my closet and all my things were gone. Her things like dresses and underwear and blouses were hanging and are folded on the side. I was so confused I immediately asked her about it, and she stood near the door and nonchalantly said she borrowed my clothes to store her expensive things, since keeping them in bags or the socks drawers was causing damage. I furiously asked where all my things were. She pointed a different cabinet in the living room and said all my clothes were there, and as for makeup, jewels were at the bottom of the kitchen cabinet. I lost it completely. I grabbed all her clothes that were inside my closet and threw them out of the bedroom. She started yelling and then started looking for her phone to call my husband. I told her that I shouldn't be basically kicked out of my own space and told her to take her things and leave. My husband came over and started yelling at me saying I was way out of line. He told me that all his mom asked me was to share, but I was being petty for no reason. I told him it's my room and he lashed back saying it was his room too, and I was being ridiculous. He then started berating me for telling to leave, but I took my stuff and went to stay with my mom. He tried to speak to me saying it was me who caused this fight and that he already told me this is all just temporary till his mom's house is done being renovated. He said my reaction was wrong and made his mom upset. He asked me to let it go and get right with his mom and reach a compromise. Am I the antagonist for how I reacted? Now for the top comments. NTA, now you know why she isn't staying with her other sons. They know better. Your husband is completely in the wrong. It's your home. Stay with your mom until she moves out. I would not be able to move back in. Your other half is the only protection in your home from anything external. You should provide a united front. This is not just being a mother's boy. It is being a ridiculous mother's boy. He is actually harming himself by letting her spoil his marriage. How can she move into your house that is a 1-bedroom? Petty? For no reason? I cannot imagine that he would take that position if it were his things. NTA. I'm sure many other people will mention that this would be a moment to really consider your relationship. I would encourage you to do so. But why isn't she removing his things? If it's his bedroom, to then presumably he has closet space that his mother can use. The fact that he's defending his mother and not his wife is huge. Not the a-hole and op should move out permanently. OMG, that's a big red flag. From the beginning, all that he brings his mother without your knowledge into your personal space. Then he only makes it worse by enabling his mother to act to you like that. Because eventually he stands up for his mom and not you. You are not the a-hole. Am I the antagonist for not letting my daughter meet her grandma? I 25F got pregnant by a casual hookup 26 meters. Shortly after I told him I was pregnant, he disappeared and wants nothing to do with my child. Now 8 months. A few months after my child was born, I filed for child support. I needed a last known address for him, so I went online to find one. While looking, I came across his mom's name and a phone number. After thinking about it, I reached out to her. I thought she deserved to know her grandchild, even though her son didn't want to be involved. She was very nice and said how her son never mentioned he had a child, but was happy that I reached out. She said she was not currently in contact with her son. She said she was sick and wanted to wait until she felt better to meet my daughter. She was nice. She had red flags. She never really asked about my daughter and only wanted to talk about her son. She claimed she was very sick, but talked about how she would mow the lawn and work on her car, but was too sick to meet my daughter. She seemed to hate every person in her son's life, such as friends and exes, and blamed them for her son's issues. But she did give me information I needed. Where he worked. I needed it to get him served to take a paternity test. Then one day she stopped replying. A few weeks later, I received a text saying she talked to her sons and some things didn't add up, and she wanted to call me. I tried calling her, and she never answered, so I figured she no longer wanted to be involved. At a previous court hearing, my daughter's father's under oath told the magistrate his address was his mom's address, so I used that to serve him the court documents. A few weeks later, she texts me saying how he lives with his friend, not with her, and that she will not forward the documents to him. Then said her son told her he was not the dad and couldn't be because the birthday did not match up. She said I ruined her son's life, and if he kills himself, he has mental health issues. It's mine and my daughter's fault. I should be the one who dies and not him. If her son was the father, I should have had an abortion. I never replied. Since my daughter's father gave his mom's address to the magistrate, that is where my daughter's new birth certificate got sent. His mom texted me saying how she opened the birth certificate and saw his name and knew her son must have been lying and that he was the father. She said she would like to meet her granddaughter and have a relationship. I responded that she is no longer wanted in our lives and that she will not be allowed to meet her until my daughter gets old enough to make that decision for herself. She seems too unstable and not someone I want around my daughter. She then replied that I'm making a mistake by keeping my daughter's family away from her, but I feel I'm doing the right thing. Now for the top comments. NTA sounds like you have done everything just right and have a rational decision making process. Keep on keeping on. NTA, you see the red flags. Don't be the bull and charge right for them. Good luck with everything. Definition not the a-hole. Messed up fam. Leave it all behind and enjoy your new mom life. 3. NTA. Make sure you get the birth certificate back. Block this woman.